For today's video, I want to talk about Anchor products, and I really just want to talk about them because I think they should be included in every collection. Really, at the end of the day, what an Anchor product is just that one product from each collection or drop that you have that's really going to kind of act as its own like marketing for the collection. Trying something you're trying to go like viral with more or less. Often can be like a one of one, something that takes a lot of effort and time to produce, super limited quantities, or just overall just a really intricate, detailed product that you might have in your collection. So, going to talk about some Anchor products, some different examples, and just talk about why you should have them in each collection and how they will help your brand grow. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, cool. So, the first one I want to look at is this collection between Umbro and Slam Jam. If you've been following them for the past year, they've went absolutely crazy. So, we have these pieces like this hat. They're just really, this anorak that's become really popular. A lot of different stuff inspired by football culture, like soccer. But this, and they have this again, this anorak right here, and also this like more like almost like Burberry-esque plaid version. But also, what they did for it is they did this chainmail jersey. I think it's just like a one of one, and this obviously went absolutely viral. Again, with an Anchor product, you kind of want to go with something that like has not been done before. If you can, if it's like a one of one or something like that, go completely thinking outside the box and just create something that's somewhat related to the rest of the pieces in the collection. And it's probably something that you're not even like trying to sell or like make money on. But it's just a very viral product that can almost just activate as its own marketing for your brand and the collection. So yeah, we have this chainmail jersey, absolutely crazy. Never seen anything like it before. Has the Umbro with like these pearls right here or whatever that is, the Umbro logo, and we have another. I think that's also just part of the collection logo. Like this penalty culture is the name of the collection. And so this went crazy on all of the archive pages and whatnot, and a lot of other media picked it up and also helped, lead to more attention for the collection, which obviously resulted in a lot of, really the whole collection went well. Obviously, some of these pieces by themselves probably won't sell super well, like this one, for example. Pretty cool, but I mean, most of this probably won't sell crazy just by itself. But when you have a product like this that kind of anchors down the collection with a couple other heavy hitters like the anorak, like I was alluding to, and like some of the hats, I'm a big fan. I also bought this one from, I think it was part 1 or part 2 of the collection. So yeah, again, kind of getting down to Anchor product helps sell everything else and just kind of viral in its own way. So the next brand I want to talk about is Badson. And so they did this recent collection, I believe Oxygen 3, highlighted by this star fruit jacket. And then we have these overgrowth pants. They've been doing those quite a few times, this array jacket. And then for the last thing they did was the speaker jacket. And so this is a one of one again. They did 32 speakers and 2 shoulder pads to make this thing. It's also made out of like leather, I think. So again, super crazy, like one of one piece. Obviously, it's probably didn't even go up for sale. And it looks like they, yeah, okay, so they created their own jacket referencing another Pele jacket they had seen. And yeah, again, it's just super viral by itself. They don't really need to do anything else other than just like showcase the product. Not much more to that. They could have done like a BTS of making it, which I think would have been pretty cool and also further driven home the point. But yeah, this collection was already like doing really well. Badson's one of the best out there right now. The marketing's been on point with just like being very good product, kind of selling itself. But then when you add just the cherry on top with something like this, that kind of speaks for itself. It's somewhat relating to the rest of the collection, but also just like a very standout piece. This went crazy, like 20,000 likes, who knows how many impressions. I'm sure all kinds of media outlets picked it up. And yeah, again, kind of helped anchor down the collection and just, build more to like the hype of it and help sell everything else. Even though that they probably didn't make any money on this, I doubt they even sold it. Just, yeah, use it as like a kind of viral piece to, do that aspect. Next one I want to talk about is Merra. Talked about them in my last vid with a viral marketing. They did this video right here. Again, super short content. Showed a lot of product features and were just super viral for a lot of reasons, from the flamethrower to just the heat reactive stuff, the water. You have like the mountains in the background. All came together really well shot. But yeah, this product itself, if you look at their collection, it's more or less like pretty basic, more or less. Like you have a couple like these Sherpa hoodies that have some somewhat interesting cuts in different colors, but overall it's a pretty tame and like basic collection. But by itself, I don't think it would sell that well, but as you can tell, 54,000 likes, I'm sure tons of impressions, and they've really blown up. And part of it is due to just this jacket itself. The jacket, I think as is, even with like some product shots like this, showcasing the heat reactive aspect to it, helps. And then combine that with a really good product video, further drove home that point. And so this was something that obviously they did sell a lot of. It wasn't just a one of one. I'm sure they, probably didn't make as many of these as they did some of the other products. But this product itself, along with a couple others, helped hold it down, anchor down the collection, bring in a lot of attention, and help sell the entire collection. And so now they're crushing it. They're at well over 250,000 followers. They've been on the up, I believe, for a little bit. Again, the products themselves aren't anything that crazy. If you saw like a lot of this just with a different brand's logo, you probably wouldn't even buy most of it. But yeah, when you have like viral marketing like this and some products that can kind of go viral on their own, does a lot of help for it. Next up, I want to talk about the brand slash designer Jackus Christ. For a lot of his collections, he does a one of one piece. So for this one right here, we have this dragon hoodie. He's a pretty good artist. He did all this, I believe, just a hand drawn. I believe this might actually be printed. That one might be printed, but yeah, he does a lot of, let me find a good example. It's like these boots right here. He did this hand engraved print right here, like artwork. This is just a piece of art, honestly. And he did put these up for sale. Obviously, I'm sure it was probably like a pretty penny for them himself. But in terms of like sales, obviously it only contributed to a small amount with regards to the whole collection. But something like this really just helps, again, bring like attention and virality to the brand, especially a somewhat smaller brand compared to some of the other ones I'm showing. But yeah, just a really cool piece. Again, a lot of it is going to be one of ones or just like really crazy things that take a lot of time and effort to make. So yeah, especially if someone who's like him is like an artist and can have this type of ability to make something like this. There's no reason not to for every collection, and just stuff like this helps sell out the other stuff like this duffel. And again, just having good product helps. But if you can have a lot of good products in your collection and then elevate it with something like a one of one that is very different and something you haven't seen before, it just really helps sell the whole collection. Again, a lot of one of ones. This right here is pretty crazy. Again, he's like a pretty solid artist that does a lot of also artwork just printed onto a lot of his work. I believe these were actually, these were handmade. Did like 100 of them or something like that. Really cool artist slash brand. Definitely go check them out. But yeah, there's a ton of one of ones for most of his collections, and they work very well. Next up, I want to just briefly talk about Bravest. I believe really the thing to think about with them is that they sell a lot of like pretty basic product, more or less, if you look at like this from a whole. But what they do really well is they're constantly pushing out new shoes. And so obviously shoes have a higher barrier to entry for most brands. Obviously they're more established brands, so they got more cash flow to kind of sample and mess with these kind of things. But they're just constantly pushing out all these types of crazy shoes, like literally like the most crazy things you can think about, from these like Hulk clogs to these bear claws to they have these like toe shoes. All these just go super viral. And even though they're not releasing them coincidentally with these other collections they're doing, constantly dropping these shoes helps keep their attention on the brand, and is what really helps them sell a lot of this other product that is more or less like pretty simple, nothing too crazy to talk about here. But the reason for all this to sell is because they've done such a good job on the branding and marketing with some of the heavier hitter pieces like these shoes that they constantly push out. Next up, ALD. Thought it'd be a quick mention for them. Again, similar concept. They did this for their 10-year anniversary. This limited to 10 pieces with a Jeff Hamilton anniversary leather jacket. I believe this was $15,000 when I looked. Yeah, super cool. You can take a look at it for yourself. Really cool piece. Obviously just insane on the details. But of course, like, they're selling 10 of these at $15,000. So 150K, awesome. But for a brand like them, like, that's not really nothing. It's not really about the money. It's more about using this as, again, another way to build brand. It's got a legendary collaboration with Jeff Hamilton, who's been very known for these types of leather jackets. And this piece in itself just acts as another marketing aspect, brings a lot of attention in. Obviously, I'm sure this performs a lot better than a lot of their other posts. And yeah, helps contribute to their success as a whole. Just continuously doing things like this is what adds to why they're doing so well. Next up, I want to bring up Cody Phillips. I brought this campaign up a couple times for different reasons. Again, just a really cool campaign. Go check this one out. But yeah, he did a lot of cool pieces. You can see some of this is like his type of work. But I thought he did one piece that really kind of stood out and that he really pushed harder was these lasso shirts. Again, for anchor product, it doesn't have to be a one of one, but I definitely think it should be something that takes like a lot of effort, or you can tell like the time was put into it. He's done a lot of work putting in like BTS videos of it and the whole like process of showing how it's came to life. And it's a pretty like unique product. You probably haven't seen something like this before. I believe on the back it has like a Cody Phillips like lasso words on it. But yeah, I feel like this product itself is very different than a lot of the other ones that came about, and really just helps anchor down the whole collection. Although, like, what really sold this collection was this crazy lookbook and the viral videos that came along with it. But again, just using a really like solid product that hasn't been done before, and also just pushing it yourself with content. Again, he's been posting about this one for months. Yeah, lookbook or photo shoot. Yeah, again, like teasing it, BTS video. Yeah, pushing it hard and clearly worked. And then the last one I want to leave you guys off with is this collaboration between Crash Vancouver and this brand Vital Studios, which I don't even know if is a brand anymore. They might still be. I don't think they've dropped anything for like a minute. Yeah, so this brand hasn't even been active since September of 2022. But for their collaboration, again, nothing too crazy that they were doing for their drops. Here's like this collab sweatpants they did, this graphic tee, pretty cool, but nothing crazy. But what they did is they did this one of one sword. So this whole collection was kind of rooted in like a bit of like medieval, kind of like I don't cyberdom. I guess I don't really know too much about exactly what they were going for. But yeah, about like kingdom, the cyberdom, all this stuff. So the sword kind of makes sense for the collection itself. But again, just like making a sword is like crazy, right? Like who releases swords as a clothing brand? So yeah, obviously this went crazy, went viral. Again, acted as like an anchor product for this collection. So you have some like decent products. You also have a collaboration going on, so introducing each other's audiences to each other, and then you add on top a viral piece like a sword. Yeah, and they actually sold this, I believe. Took 20 hours to make, and then they have all this custom engraving on it, which is awesome. Yeah, this just really like sold the whole thing, and is part of the reason why they were able to sell all this other stuff. So that's kind of all I had for today. Just want to talk about anchor products and kind of what they mean for each collection. I think it's important to be thinking about almost like this is another form of marketing for your brand. So you have your viral content or short form content, and obviously having good like photography, always making sure the product is good itself. But then having a piece that's kind of very standout, very different, oftentimes will be like a one of one or very limited quantity product or item that might not even be clothing like this, that can help just act as a form of marketing for the rest of your collection and help sell out some of those more like not generic but more like basic items that are a little more available on the market that you've seen from other places. So that's all I got for today. Again, would love to hear any feedback you have. Really appreciate all of the support recently. Drop a like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Just hit 500 subs today, I believe, so that's awesome. But yeah, that's all I got, so I'll see you guys next time. Thanks.